Hello, Cancer. Elsie here to do your reading for the week ahead. How are you, Cancer? Thanks so much for checking in here. I appreciate you. Cancer, I've got some oracles. I'm going to throw them down for the overall energy for the week ahead, and then we're going to pull out some tarot. We're going to get some details on these oracles for the week ahead. So if you've never been here before, this is what I do usually, and for the week ahead, it's always for the week ahead is what I'm reading for. And so if you are looking for other energies, I would say that we're not all at the same place at the same time, so please look into the archives, into the Cancer readings, and some of that might resonate with you now, because I am always reading for the week ahead, whether you get it today, tomorrow, or next year. If you're brand new, welcome. There is a subscription button in the bottom right-hand corner if you decide to stay. And let's figure out what's going on for you, my ride or dies. Let's find out what's going on for Cancer. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. We've got choosing your path. Oh, time to make a choice. All is possible. So it feels like there's, we've got all of these mountains in the background here. They could be, some of them look like hills, but they kind of look like mountains. And it feels like this person is trying to assess the situation from a higher ground. So somebody who's very brave. This person is a knight. They do have, they're wearing their armor, and their sword is in the sheath on their side. So somebody here has been holding it back from a journey. And it feels like it's because there's too many possibilities. It feels like this, almost like the Seven of Cups for me. It feels like there's too many possibilities. Like this person's trying to say, like, where do I go? Which one do I go around? Which one do I go over? Do I have to scale them? What do I have to do in order to get past all of these obstacles? Because in the tarot, mountains are obstacles and sometimes also achievements. So, once we conquer the mountain becomes an achievement, but it's up until we get to the top that we're unsure as to whether we're going to have the accomplishment or not. It says here, infinite abundance. It says abundance is pouring into your life. I feel like you are going to find a lot of your abundance, Cancer, around other people who can give you a helping hand. You can see that these people some of them are, shaking. That's what they would do, right? Instead of using ladders, they would shake the apples out of the tree, and the ones that were the ripest, the ones that were ready to fall would fall, and the ones that were not ripe would not fall. So it feels like this is a ripe chance for you to begin something, pouring abundance into your life. And I feel like you just need to pick your path. You need to pick which mountains you're willing to climb and which ones you want to step around. I think it's going to make you're going to be choosing your path, making some decisions here. Tell me more about Cancer, please. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Tell me more about Cancer. Tell me about Cancer. We have the flow, right? I kind of like that. It's like getting out of the doorway and getting into the flow. And I talk about that sometimes. Maybe you haven't heard me talk about it, but it's like being in the doorway of your life and telling people who can leave and who can arrive. And I feel like you're just supposed to be in the flow. You're just supposed to open the door and let people come and go as they will. Because when we start holding on to people, places, things, situations, jobs, all of that stuff, things that are already supposed to be gone from our life, when we hold on to them, that's where the problem starts. So it feels like you're finally in the flow. You're no longer holding on to the past or holding on to things that were not good for you. It feels like you're looking at all possibilities. Now I have to lay out the path in front of me. What am I going to choose to do? I've got new beginnings. I kind of love that. So your new beginning is full of abundance here. And it might be that you meet people on the path, right? We're just talking to Pisces about that. It's about enjoying the journey and not necessarily saying, when is it? What time? When am I going to get there? When is that person showing up? When is the job going to arrive? It's like enjoying the journey there, learning the things along the path. Let's find what else is going on here. One more card and then we'll get to tarot. Tell me about Cancer. Tell me about Cancer. We've got balance. I like it. It says, I bring a state of perfect harmony into my world, and I do so without judgment. So I want to say that there's going to be things that you're letting go of. One of them is control. The other is, I feel like, is like the controlling of the ending of wherever you're going. So I feel like you're stepping into the unknown here, and there possibly could be a lot of obstacles ahead of you. But I feel like if you stay in the flow and you're willing to maybe go around things that you might have tried to go through, and sometimes there's things in our way for a reason, because when there's obstacles in our way, it's because the universe is trying to get us to what is that? Sorry, Charlie's talking in my ear today a lot. To recalibrate the GPS. That's what that was. Okay. So I feel like it's like if you're at a place where you feel like you're stuck, it's like this is the time that you're supposed to be like rerouting because there's construction ahead. That's what it is. You're supposed to be rerouting something here. So it feels like you will get the balance. You're going to figure it out. And so I think that you've been frustrated, been stuck, or maybe feeling held back. But it does feel like that you're not supposed to judge yourself for not knowing the answer immediately. Some of us stay stuck in our lives. Look, I'm a fixed sign. You're not a fixed sign, but I'm a fixed sign. And for fixed signs, sometimes we'll stand there, we'll size up the mountain for years before we decide, oh, yeah, I brought the GPS. I can always go around, right? So I feel like instead of looking at the GPS, maybe I feel like for you, it's going to be a shift of energy. You're going to feel balanced, like content with where you are. You're going to accept, like it's a radical acceptance of the present moment, accepting where you are right now. And then you're going to be able to move forward. We have forgiveness. Maybe this is what's holding you back. And I don't mean forgiving somebody else. I mean maybe forgiving yourself for not knowing sooner. Why didn't I know sooner? Why didn't I move forward? Well, that was easy. Why didn't I do it? Like it feels like that kind of forgiveness. It says, I acknowledge that harboring resentment blocks the flow of love. It does, though. If you do have resentment for somebody, it doesn't just block that person. If you have resentment, it puts blocks all over your life because there's so many emotional things we deal with in our lives. And if we can't get forgiveness down, and it doesn't mean that you don't win. It doesn't mean that you lose if you forgive somebody. It doesn't even mean you have to talk to them again. You can quietly do that within your soul and say, you know what? I understand that that person had a pretty rough go of it, and I'm just going to forgive them because they know not what they do, and just go along my path. Maybe you just never want to reconnect with the person again, but it feels like forgiveness is due because it will block you. It will block you, period. Yeah, it sure will. All right, let's look at some tarot. Let's get some more details on this for you. Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. I'm going to make some room here because I'm going to put down 2 extra cards, and these 2 extra cards are going to be for not next week, but the week after that, so we can take a peek into the next week after that, into the 3rd week of April. Tell me about Cancer. Oh, Cancer. If you're interested in a private read, please look at the pinned comments. Some things have changed. I have added services. I am now doing live chats and live phone calls. If you're interested in doing that, all the details are in the pinned comment. You're also going to be going to a new place to get my services. It's not necessarily new. It's a sister site to where you were before. So if you've already been someone who's booked with me on Wizio, then your username password is going to work on Hipsy. And please go over to Hipsy, and that's where you'll be booking, whether it's a pre-recorded reading or a live reading that you want. All right, let's find out what's going on for you, Cancer. We've got the 9 of Pentacles. Look, if you're going to start something new, if you're going to choose a new path and see all the possibilities, you might as well be in the 9 of Pentacles doing it. I feel like you are at this place of assessing, because it feels like you're at this place. Pentacles are about moving slowly, right? So it feels like you have moved slowly, and now you're like, okay, well, now today is the day that I feel confident enough to scale this mountain and get a look from up above to see what I'm up against. It feels like you finally have the confidence to turn toward it instead of turning away from it. And I'm going to just go with the flow. I'm going to see what's out there, and I'm going to plot or plan my course, my journey. I'm going to plan accordingly. Tell me about the flow, because I feel like you've let go of something here. Maybe you've let go of, maybe you've decided you're more comfortable in knowing, or the unknowing. It's like you're getting comfortable with not knowing what's coming up next. Tell me about the flow. Ooh, I like that, the Wheel of Fortune. Look, when you hit the flow, when you decide that you're no longer trying to coordinate the ending, when you're not trying to control the outcome, that's when the Wheel of Fortune shows up. When you finally get into the flow, the universe is like, okay, now we can move forward, right? I'm doing this because it's circular, right? It's circular. When the Wheel of Fortune moves, it moves forward. So the Wheel of Fortune is here, and it is fortunate things that you're moving toward. In fact, one of those fortunate things is balance, and the other one is being in the flow. And you know yourself, if you're somebody who's ever done any kind of boating, that, especially if you're a fisherman and you're out on the lake, that boat can just float, can go with the flow, right? When you're trolling, right, for a fish. Tell me about balance. Ah, look at that. That's beautiful energy. So whether you're feminine or masculine, you could be the Empress, right? Taurus and Libra energy, both. Taurus is feminine energy, Libra is masculine. So masculine or feminine, this is your balance. So I feel like what's happening here is, it feels like, you know what it feels like is like your last lesson is the Queen of Wands lesson. That's what Charlie has put in my head, my guide, Charlie. He's given me the Queen of Wands, and I think the reason is because I think that this is your last lesson before you move forward here. So I feel like it's the the tenacity, the independence. It's doing it by myself. I don't need anyone else. I can just do it by myself, and I'm going to move forward anyway. It feels like you get the confidence here, but it feels like it's the Queen of Wands that propels you forward, I think. And when you learn that Queen of Wands energy, that's what shifts everything. When you learn how to do it individually, independently, do it by yourself, and not worry about what everyone else is saying. Just do whatever it is that you need to do. Let's put down these 2 extra cards for not next week, but the week after that. We've got the 9 of Cups and we've got the 9 of Wands. Look, you're on the edge, on the precipice of some sort of really big change. And I'm going to say don't give up. It feels like it's been maybe a hard cycle for you. And don't give up. Things are coming into alignment. And I feel like what's coming into alignment for you is inner happiness. I don't feel like it's based on anything that's going on around your peripherals. I don't feel like it's anything that is extended outside to you that has to come inside to make you happy. Because the 9 of Cups isn't about waiting on other people or other things or, the next purse, the next shoes, the next car. It's not about those things. It's about the inner happiness, right? It's about building it on your own, building that happiness, excuse me, on your own. So it feels like you're on the very edge of making a change. And if you're feeling exhausted and tired and I just can't do this anymore, I feel like you're on the precipice of some sort of breakthrough to a new beginning here that is very abundant. And I feel like it's going to take forgiveness of something, someone, a situation, whatever it was. And maybe you need to forgive yourself. I'm just saying. All right. Tell me about the 9 of Pentacles. We've got the Queen of Pentacles in the reverse. We've got the Ace of Wands, and we've got the 10 of Wands. So I feel like you've been carrying around burdens for a really long time, and I feel like you think that you have to carry them to the end of the cycle. I feel like, I always say with the end of the cycle is really the 9. You can put the 9 down. You're just waiting for the Ace, right? In order for you to be able to put down the burdens, and the Ace is right here. So I feel like this Queen of Pentacles being in the reverse is telling me that you are taking one last look back into the past, or one last look back at yourself, making sure that you have enough, make sure the backpack is full, make sure that you have everything that you need in order to be able to navigate your way through this exciting new path that's showing up for you, this new journey. So it feels like everything is possible, and I feel like you are preparing yourself by becoming confident enough to drop the burdens and say, you know what, it's time for me to have some excitement and some fun, and I'm just going to leave that back there, whether it's a relationship or a job or a way that I was thinking. But it feels like somebody here, it also could be what you're leaving behind for you is impacts to your finances. I feel like your finances are about to get really good. When the Ace of Wands is here, it's excitement, it's creativity. It's like you're going to find creative ways to make new money or more money. We've got the Queen of Pentacles being in the reverse, though, is always, it feels to me that somebody is like looking at themselves. Am I enough? Do I have enough worth? Do I have enough money? Do I have enough food? It's like somebody is sizing themselves up to see if they have enough. And I think that you do, because the 9 of Pentacles is here. Tell me about this Wheel of Fortune. I love this, the flow and the Wheel of Fortune. If you can get in the boat and just trust the universe, throw up the sail, I feel like that's what you're going to do. You're going to move forward. You're going to expand. Oh my gosh, look at this. Holy smokes. Yeah, that's what it looks like. Exactly what it looks like for you, Cancer. It feels like the Tower shows up and says, get your ass out there. It's time to go. So when the universe throws you a tower, right? The major arcanas, by the way, the Empress, the Wheel of Fortune, the Tower, when these show up, you don't really have anything you can do about it except respond or react. And so these things are going down regardless. Change is coming for you. It's because the Tower shows up because of this expansion. So it's making room for new things. It's the renovation of your life, right? It's making room for new things here. I think your only job is to get in the boat, go with the flow, and throw up your sails and let the universe take care of the rest. And we've got, the Sun. Cancer, I don't remember doing a reading this good for you in a while. I'm just saying, look, you know exactly why the Tower's here. You are having a breakthrough. The Tower is here to bring you growth, to expand you. And sometimes that's terrifying. That's the truth of it. Sometimes expansion, change, all of that stuff. I always say that you're the Taurus sign of all the water signs. It's like you don't really want to move forward until you're ready to do it, but it's got to be your idea. And I think that you're having some sort of a breakthrough, some major, major breakthrough energy here. We've got the Three of Cups. Look, there's nothing going wrong here. By the middle of the week next week, I feel like you are in this energy of the clouds parting. The sun is showing up. You can see everything. The weather gets better. I feel like the Tower is here imploding things because maybe if this wasn't removed, if the person, the job, the situation of forgiveness, if that wasn't removed from your path, you might be apt to go back there. When the Tower shows up, there's no way you're going back there. So the Wheel of Fortune here is bringing great change and divine timing. And it is your destiny for things to change. And it's helping you to go with the flow. And you're going to be the happiest ever. You're going to be the happiest when the sun comes out and you have this realization of this breakthrough. Oh, that's what towers are for. That's what Elsie was talking about. That's why things have to change. I feel like it's going to be amazing for you. And on the other side of all of this chaos that's going on in the middle of the week, it feels like the Empress is here. You end up solid and grounded here. I feel like somebody reaches out for you, someone who you haven't spoken with in a long time. This might be your opportunity for forgiveness, I'm just going to say, because we have the Three of Swords and the Ten of Swords. It feels like there is somebody who you've been romantically linked to that I feel is going to be showing up for you, Cancer, and is going to be saying, sorry, I'm sorry I did that to you. I'm sorry I hurt you that way. It feels like it's going to be an apology of some sort. Either you're giving it to someone else or they're giving it to you. Either way, it's starting a new beginning because you're going to have enlightenment and you're going to realize, oh, that's what it was. That was the one thing I needed to move out of the way. The Ten of Swords is I feel like you've had a hard ending with somebody. But I really do feel that even though this ending was hard or maybe hurt your feelings or, made you feel terrible about it, I feel like it was what brought you peace. This person's making a peace sign with their hand. So I feel like it was what ultimately brought you peace. And I think that's really beautiful. It's a hard time in the Ten of Swords. It's not easy. But I feel like you finally were able to come to some sort of peace. And that's what allowed you to move into this Emperor energy. Or Empress energy, I should say. We've got the Page of Cups and we've got the Two of Swords. So I feel like there was something that was blocking you from some sort of a new beginning, possibly a new romantic beginning. And I feel like you are now finally allowing the universe to remove all of those blocks and you're standing in the Empress shoes here. And the Empress heals, is a healer, right? Can heal anything. She's the Queen of Cups. And so I feel like you're healing this Three of Swords. And whether or not when this person reaches out to you, and I'm saying that because someone is literally reaching out for the other one on the card, if somebody reaches out to you with this emotion and it's somebody that you had a really tough ending with, or vice versa, maybe you reach out to them, they reach out to you, I feel like it brings balance. That it might be, if it's you reaching out to somebody who might be wanting to reach out to the Empress, I would say the Empress is ready to receive, always ready to receive. So if you're the Empress, you're ready to receive it. If you're reaching out to the Empress is ready to receive whatever it is you have to say. Tell me about the Nine of Wands and the Nine of Cups. This is not for next week. This is for the week after that. We've got the Hanged Man. We've got the Ten of Cups. Look at that beautiful outcome. I love it. And the Temperance card. So perspective, which is what I started the reading with, is what I end the reading with, is right. This person is on the top of the mountain trying to get perspective of where to go next. And so this Hanged Man energy tells me you're in a pause to get perspective about what's going to make you ultimately happy. And what's going to make you ultimately happy is being healed and no longer being back and forth and back and forth. Finally having something restored for you, bringing things back into balance here. And it's because you didn't give up that things are coming back into balance. So it might not be next week that you feel like balance is here. I feel like all the changes that might scare you are happening in the middle of next week. But I feel like the week after that is where you get your relief. And I feel like you're feeling pretty happy about yourself. You're feeling pretty proud of yourself that you got yourself all into emotional alignment all by you. Like no one else. You didn't have to buy something to make you happy or go somewhere to make you happy or bring someone else into your life to make you happy. You did it all on your own. And that's pretty badass. We've got the Hierophant energy and we've got the Six of Swords. So there you are. Your next steps coming out after this is moving into this energy of structure and getting a game plan and planning things. And I'm going to be on my own path now. And if you guys want to follow me, you can. I've got a lot of answers, but if you don't want to follow me, that's fine. I feel like the Six of Swords is telling me that you're finally out of the choppy waters and headed to the calm waters. And that's really what this is at the end of the week and looking into the week after that. I'm going to leave that right there for you, Cancer. Thank you so much for being here and watching. Look, this is probably the most positive reading I've had for you in quite some time. So, yeah. I'm grateful that you've got this good energy coming up here. So hang in there, friend. If you're in the 9 of Wands, hang in there. 10 of Wands is going to start you off in your week, which is you're going to be able to drop whatever it is and not worry about having to take it all home with you again at the end of the day. Right? It's going to be your choice. It's not going to happen to you. It's going to happen for you. I'm going to leave that right there, Cancer. Thanks so much for being here and watching. I do appreciate you. I'll be back because I'm always back, and I hope you will be back too. Bye-bye.